Hey guys, K-Train here. Today we're going to continue the tear down of the parts to get the aluminum instrument panel carrier out of this 2005 Impala so that we can replace that chassis wiring. This is the primary chassis wiring that goes from junction block on the driver's side to the passenger side. I have determined the minimum necessary to get the instrument panel carrier and the heater box out without tearing any more down on the engine or the dash than we need to. So these next steps is all the steps that we have to do under the hood to do that. Before doing these steps, you'll want to have already drained all the coolant as well as evacuated air conditioning of any R134A. Because the coolant and air conditioning lines that go to the heater box are passing through the firewall and are bolting right to the heater box. To show you how to do this, I have my shoulder camera so you get my point of view as we take these parts out. So let's get this thing off there. As we get started here, there's a few obvious things that we can take off that need to get out of our way. We can do those first. That is, remove the driver's side strut support. These 3 bolts, it comes out. With that removed, unwind these 2 bolts. And the air box and the filter will come out if you push the air intake hose back after loosening its clamp. From there, we turn the oil fill neck counterclockwise to remove the injector spray shield. Lift up and then pull this way. And it has a pin in the back which retains it. Until we're done here, let's put oil fill neck back. Next step, we're going to remove the throttle cable bracket and the throttle cable. If you have cruise control cable is part of this bracket assembly. And we're going to remove the EGR valve shield. This lets us move transmission dipstick so then we can get master cylinder off. The cable comes out of the side there. Now you can let go of the throttle and put the bracket and cable like this to the side. Here I want to show you there are just 2 bolts, 1 nut and a bolt that holds EGR valve shield on. This one is down here. This is the nut. This one is at a cant this angle of this extension. It's where you can find the other bolt that holds EGR shield on. Those are the only things you need to take off to get the shield out of the way. Once the nuts and the bolts are out of the way, if you disconnect the EGR connector, all you really need to do to move it out of the way is flip the shield this way. The whole point of doing this is so that transmission fluid dipstick can be moved around when getting the brake booster drum out. Now we can proceed to take the master cylinder off. We can get the master cylinder out of the way without really disconnecting any of the brake lines or losing any fluid. The 2 brake lines that come from the master cylinder and go into the brake pressure modulator can stay attached. These are flexible lines between on the edges of there's only hard lines at the end. So to take master cylinder out, disconnect brake fluid sensor line, remove the vacuum line, and then there are 2 bolts that hold it to the brake drum booster on either side. These 2 gray ones are the fuel line clips, and the white one is vacuum line. I did find I need to get this out of my way to get the brake components out of there. Okay, master cylinder was attached to the brake booster like this. And once I got the brake booster out of the way, I was able to push the release tab and turn the brake booster, and then it will come out. It won't come out until you remove the tab that retains the end of the brake booster arm to the brake pedal. It's a steel clip. You release it and you push it off the pin that this is on. So with the brake booster drum gone, we have fuel delivery tied back, and these portions of the main wiring harness go directly to it. The brake fluid sensor, cruise control, and this round interface cable. Additionally, there's this circle rubber grommet that goes to the windshield wiper deck. We're going to have to take the windshield wiper deck apart to be able to unplug this so we can get the harness out. I'll probably show you that in the next video. Right now, I want to finish removing the coolant lines and the AC lines from the heater box interface. With those removed, the only other thing to remove is 2 nuts holding the rubber boot for ignition and power loop down in the bottom on the passenger side. I won't be able to show you that. It's very tight in there. However, I'll show you the boot when it comes out on the passenger side floor. Okay, now to unmount the heater box so it can be pulled with the aluminum instrument panel carrier, we're going to remove these 2 10mm nuts on these long bolts and the 1 13mm nut on the retainer for the air conditioning lines. Remember, you want to have evacuated air conditioning before you do this, because once this retainer is gone, these lines will be free. The last step for prepping this side to remove the instrument panel carrier is these 6 15mm nuts need to come out. They're all part of the brake tunnel. The brake pedal arm comes through this rubber boot. So let's get them out of here.